What's up guys, Excaliblator here and welcome back to Star Ocean Anamnesis. So we got another update today and they've added a bunch of new stuff, so let's take a look at it, shall we? Okay, let's see. First things first. We have a new Maze of Poison, so this is similar to the new Maze of Frost that was introduced like a week ago, I think. So it's basically the normal Maze of Frost, except enemies are a little tougher. They have more defense, which means you need to either have stronger units or you need to find out other ways to cheese it. Okay, so there's not much different here. And then we have the newest thing, the Valkyrie Profile event. So this is a login type dealie. So first we have a 7-day login bonus. It gives you a 5-star character ticket, weapon ticket, and some stamina, and then you can see some extra gems there, some seeds, an augment orb. That's really cool. And then for the second part of this little event, they've added new stuff to the shop. I think it's 3 new sets. So you have an attacker set, sharpshooter set, and the limited Valkyrie Profile set, as you can see there. It says, by the way, it says that it includes a 5-star ace character ticket, but last I checked, that's not a 5-star ace ticket. I think it's just a 5-star to 4-star ticket, so it costs like 5,000. Hold on, let's go check it out, shall we? Okay, so costs 5,000 gems, and it has the prisms, 5-star weapon ticket, and a 4 to 5-star character ticket. That is not worth it whatsoever. If it was an ace ticket, hells yes, that would be worth it, but because it's only a 4 to 5-star character ticket, 5,000 is a little too expensive, so I wouldn't buy that if I were you. So I don't know if that's just a mistake they made in the notice or if it's actually supposed to be that, but gems as compensation, please. And then lastly, we have the level up campaign. So basically when you throw prisms onto a character as XP, there is a chance that you'll get more XP out of those prisms. Of course, it's never gonna proc when you actually need it to, and it's only gonna proc when you've actually thrown enough prisms on there to get them to max level. Anyway, that's very handy. And then let's get into the actual meat of things. We have the Blood Valkyrie event. So it's similar to previous events. You have a shop and you have a currency that you need to farm from the Misery 1 boss, and then you can purchase the items in the item exchange shop right here. It lasts for 2 weeks. So let's take a look at these items. We have a 4 to 5-star character ticket, very nice, a weapon ticket, rainbow crystal, and a barrier blaster. That's also really cool. Get some more gems from story mode that way. So the Slayer of Divine Beings is a one-handed sword. As first factor, it has Valkyrie's Mercy plus 15% damage. That is one of Lenneth's attacks. Imbues attack with light, that is really good, and AP cost minus 10%. So this weapon, all in all, is a fantastic event weapon, mostly because of that second factor, imbues attacks with light. That's really good. It helps with doing some extra damage. It helps with element burst stun, so that's very nice, especially for this event because the boss is weak to light. So if you don't have a one-handed light sword, you can use this. However, the Claim Soloist, which you can get from transmutation and coin exchange, is a little better than this sword because it has a higher attack stat. But if you don't have that weapon yet, then this makes for a very suitable replacement. And then the Shiny Rupture is not as great, unfortunately, as the Slayer of Divine Beings. So Wave Motion is one of Sumeria's skills, damage dealt to Divines, and we have an additional hit that deals 5%. So the main draw of this weapon is the extra damage it deals to Divines, but that's only 10%, so you're better off just using anything else that gives you a better buff. The additional hit that deals 5%, that's negligible, and Wave Motion, that's like Sumeria specific. So yeah, this bow isn't great. You're better off just using anything else. If you don't have anything else and you're just starting out, then sure, pick up Shiny Rupture and use that until you have something better, but it's not great. Okay, so, and the way it works this time around is, the factors are unlocked like that. You get one of the weapons from the story missions, and everything else you have to buy. So all 5 Rupture bows you buy from the shop, and the other 4 Slayers you buy from the shop. And then we have the Blood Valkyrie boss. So he's weak to light, which means that weapon up above there is going to be really good, and you can actually silence him, which means Lenneth actually has a little use here. within her third talent, but we'll get to that in a second. So I think that's about it for this. Well, actually, so it also has an extra skill. I'll get to this in my moveset video, but for now, it has an HP regen on it, and you need to actually out DPS that HP regen if you want to kill this thing, so we'll get to that later. And actually, one tip for these weapons: you get 5 of them, 5 of each in the event, which means 10 5-star weapons in total. So if you're not planning on using any of these on your characters, I suggest not limit breaking them and keeping them all separate so that you can use all 5-star weapons for transmutation, because as you might know, transmuting a 5-star weapon into a coin requires 5 other 5-star weapons, and they're kind of difficult to get your hands on. So if you get useless things like Shiny Rupture, then you might as well keep that for transmutation fodder. And now let's get into the character draw. Lenneth and Silmeria. I've actually never played a Valkyrie Profile game, so I have no idea who they are, which means all I have to go off is their skills. So let's start with Lenneth first. So she has a 30% party-wide attack buff, a 20% party-wide rush damage up, and 15% chance of adding silence to every single one of her attacks. So Lenneth is actually not that bad. She's quite good, actually. Of course, she is a little worse than, say, Sumeria and Fidel, but she's still very usable. A party-wide attack buff is really good, a rush combo damage up is very good, and a 15% chance of adding silence basically translates to RNG hates you, it's not gonna work when you need it to the most, it's going to piss you off. And then, on her rush, we have a 30% damage decrease for every enemy, 20 seconds. Very nice, increases DPS. But if you take a look at her skills, those multipliers look very, very delicious. You have there Valkyrie's Mercy, a 700% multiplier. That's higher than I think any other attacker has at this point. I'm not sure, don't quote me on that. But that's incredibly high, and therefore it also has some high AP costs to balance it out. So all in all, Lenneth is, she's a decent unit. She's not an upgrade to anything we have now like Fidel and Sumeria, but she's definitely usable. Unfortunately, she does fall off in the future, so not exactly future proof. But if you want to roll for her, who am I to stop you? And then on to Silmeria. She has a 30% damage up for the entire party, 10% damage up for the entire party when they're attacking a single enemy, a party-wide hit counter plus 2 seconds, and she recovers 3% HP every 3 seconds. So when you're fighting a single enemy, both of her damage talents together actually make her just as good as Maria in that regard. She also has a hit counter plus 2 seconds, which is really good for keeping your combos up so that you can build your rush a little easier, because in case you don't know, your combo is directly tied to the rush gain bonus that you get, that number that's below the rush combo. The higher it is, the faster you build rush. So that's really good for building rush. And then lastly, the 3% HP every 3 seconds is not anything to write home about, but it's certainly welcome. And then if you take a look at her rush, she increases her crit hit chance by 30% for 60 seconds. It's not party-wide. Her first skill has a dark element on it, and then everything else has some nice multipliers. You got some nice hit counts on there, which means that you can build that rush gain bonus through your combo up very smoothly. Pair that with her talent that increases the hit count timer. So she can actually build up a nice rush bonus for her entire party and support them that way. So Sumeria is kind of similar to Maria. She has a 40% damage up when you're fighting a single enemy, and she has that crit buff on her rush, except it only applies to herself as opposed to Maria's party-wide one. So she's similar to Maria in that regard, but she brings more damage to the table, so she's a bit more offensive. Again, just like Lenneth, she's not bad, she's very decent, but again, she's also not better than anything we have now. So she works as a substitute for all the other sharpshooters, but there will be better ones in the future. So roll for her if you want. And I think that about does it for me this time, because that's everything, right? Alright then, in that case, I'll try to get the Blood Valkyrie moveset video up a couple hours from now, see how quickly I can do that. But I guess I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace!